Here's my thoughts on YouTube. For starters, it took 3 years before we got any decent momentum. The first 1,000 subscribers is harder than getting to 10,000, which is harder than getting to 100,000, but it is absolutely possible. It's absolutely doable. If you've got an email list and other customer assets, you can certainly use them to help drive subscribers to the channel. Pretty simple content marketing strategy is you make a helpful 3 to 5 minute video, you put it up on your channel, you put that video in an email broadcast, you send it to your customers. Hey, here's my latest video on the channel. Click through and go watch it. If you want to be really fancy, the full strategy would be you embed that onto your blog, you have it transcribed, you have the video embedded in the blog, and then you send people a link to the blog because it helps your SEO and organic rankings and keywords on the website and all that kind of stuff. But at an absolute minimum, like if you're starting from scratch, just getting the videos watched and getting people to click on that subscribe button is like the absolute minimum grind that you've got to get through. I like YouTube as opposed to other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, because the content is a lot more evergreen. A lot of the other platforms, especially the short form focused platforms, are quite ephemeral in that you produce content, but then it disappears in the feed and it's pretty much gone. YouTube is really, 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 really good at resurfacing old content. And basically, if it is relevant, people will be shown it. It doesn't really matter how old it is. My most popular video, well, sorry, not my most, but my second most popular video was recorded 4 or 5 years ago on my phone without any fancy gear. The audio is, and 5 years later, people still message on the comments every week saying, hey, please fix your audio. This sucks. Tens of thousands of dollars of camera gear later, all our new videos are great, but this video on top 10 things that a Chromebook can't do continues to rank highly. It's got nearly 500,000 views, just continues to get watches every week. I like YouTube because I'm good at talking, and most entrepreneurs are good at talking. I would say, however, that for producing content, something that I really only realized recently, ideally, you want to find a way to produce content in the form or the modality that works for how you like to present. I don't really enjoy sitting in front of a camera and doing something scripted, because I'm much better just naturally talking shit. And I really love people asking me questions and then me responding to those questions. Surprise, surprise, guys, you're all helping me create content. And so I've decided to structure ways that I work around me just answering questions for people and then having those recorded, and then we can put that up on the channel. That's a very deliberate strategy for me to create content in a way that works for me, because it's harder for me to sit down in front of a camera, hit record, and then record it. It obviously requires a team to cut it up and do all those kind of things, but I would invite you to decide what kind of delivery of content works for you, whether that be maybe a prepared presentation. Sometimes that works for people. Sometimes it's like Q&A. Sometimes people enjoy having something structured that they then face the camera present. Decide what you like to present and then use that to your advantage in order to produce the content. I have a combination of quantity and quality. Saw this on Instagram yesterday. You want to get really quality content, but the only way to get quality content is to practice, so you also need quantity. But it doesn't hurt to have a lot of content out there, especially if you're embedding things onto your website and doing the SEO trick, because that'll help your rankings overall. It also shows authority. If you've got a couple of hundred videos on a platform like YouTube, it shows authority. Okay, you've been at it for a while.